Whoa, some days are harder to get up than others. Let's just face it, guys. Sometimes I sleep, I don't even know what's going on. Am I getting my REM? I have no idea. But we out here, Malc and Beans. You know where we're out? In my office, in my house, sitting on the floor, chilling. But love you guys. What's happening? What's happening? I'm talking to you, What's up? I'm all over the place. But got the camo on. I don't know if you guys even saw me. I probably blended right in. But yeah, I'm feeling crazy. This week's been insane, and one thing I want to get straight is there's always the glamified side of what's happening, and I will never drop that. Rough look right here. Look at the eyes, got bags around it. I'm just coming in as me, as we all should come in as ourselves. No filters, obviously. It would be nice to have some filters, but just could help out. Maybe a little cosmetics. But one day I'll have to have my daughter do me up before I jump on this thing with a little foundation. But the other day, obviously, with Malcolm Beans, baby, we're spilling the beans. The beans to me is spilling the beans. It's like anything is life, everything I've been through, certain stuff. Because I feel like if one thing happened to connect with one person, come on, guys, that's a game changer. One person, that's what life is. One heart mended mends another. It's our ability back to fulfillment, getting ourselves dialed. And I keep encouraging this because literally I didn't have this for a while. And I started getting so lost in the earthly kind of crazy world and things. But my big word was, obviously a grateful thread, but gratitude. It's like the simplest thing. And I had so much joy the other morning talking to you guys, just saying about, seeing other people win and seeing couples and seeing people work together unselfishly, just going, man, the grind. Sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's business partners, sometimes it's couples. But I talked about my homies over here. And like I said, this literally just connected because Tyler Fernangle, the OG, the dopest, young still, very young, BMX guy who I love, become a really close friend of mine. They've been stoking him out, Captain Stoker, dope name by the way. But Tyler and Kelsey is a couple that launched it, Monterey, and they have a few locations. But go check them out. But not only is it good coffee, but it's just good humans, and I love seeing, like I said, people win. The gratitude to me is one, being able to help people, but then when you help people, you can only help them so much. And you guys, we're all in this together, but it's like I can throw inspiration. You could watch, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk. You can watch, Nelk Boys, and whoever you want that you're pulling, stuff from. Andrew Tate, guys. I don't even care. I ain't gonna judge here. Andrew Tate's actually fire. Guy's got some crazy insights. But once again, I pull from everybody. So that being said, though, these guys inspired me the other day, and it made me think, man, my life's been crazy. I've traveled the world for 20 years, and I've got to meet some of the most amazing humans. And like I said, back in the day when I pioneered an underwear category and built an underwear brand. I remember when I was building it. This goes back 20 years. Obviously now I've got mended, but man, back when, I remember sitting at the Winter X Games, and I know it's Winter X Games time right now, and I remember sitting on. I had pretty good access. I was working with the top athletes in all sports. I didn't miss an X Games, pretty much hadn't missed an X Games since they started in San Diego. So anyway, sitting on the mountain with a bunch of friends, and I'm telling them, hey, I got this vision. I'm going to create this underwear category. It's going to be a culture that happens to make underwear, creating an accessory into a category in $1 billion space. And, and how are you going to differentiate it? All those kind of questions they always ask. How are you going to battle Calvin Klein? Dude, it's not about battling Calvin Klein. It's about battling the demons inside and letting loose the fear and just actually believing that you have something unique enough. It might not work, but you got to go for it, and don't just give up halfway through. Long story short, though, as I'm sitting there on this mound and probably had a couple cocktails in me, and we're telling stories. It's a nice winter night, got the snow hoodie on, whatever. And I remember sitting on one of the landings of the snowboard park, and I was telling the story to all my buddies, and they were, Monster Energy, all the different guys, and one of them was a lot of team managers, and they're like, oh my gosh, dude, like, and I, when I get into it, like, you hear me talking about mended and certain stuff, I get into it. Like, I'm not trying to check out my team. I'm trying to go, dang, no, there's something deeper here. I think the world needs, I think we all need, our community needs, I need. So anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, this and that, and here's what it's going to do. And it's going to be a little longer fit, and it's going to do this. So it doesn't rise, doesn't hike. And I'm telling the whole story more so about the connection in the community and my values. And as I was diving in, about a month later after that, I'm excited. I have not much money. I'm working my butt off full time, at No Fear Spy, Alpine Stars, before I started to really just commit and just go all in to build, the under apparel category. underwear category, under apparel combo. And basically some of my buddies called me and they said, hey, listen, I love you, you're my boy, but you inspire me so much. I'm gonna launch my own underwear company. I remember feeling heartbroken, dude. I'm going, oh, like what? And these are friends that had maybe trust fund kids, more money, their dad owned a factory. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to figure all this stuff out myself. And I felt like, man, they're gonna stomp my dream and take my dream. And they ended up, some of the brands, I'll just say that I believe connect to my inspiration that didn't exist, and our friends that own them. My Package, MeUndies, Saks, Beneath, PSD. There's a lot of brands. Not that those are all the brands, but I know the guys that weren't in the category that literally are my boys that launched a lot of those companies. And so much respect. The moral of the story is this. I worried about the fear of competition, and I felt betrayed because these friends, that I had were going to now take this idea and this dream that I had. In hindsight, looking back now, and what I learned through the process is, dude, this world is big. There's 7 million t-shirt companies, hat companies, but only the authentic ones that have this belief in a story, a message, a why of what it is. Point is, they all launched. I think they're all multi-million-dollar brands. Mine became a multi-million-dollar brand. And I had my unique story. They had theirs. So people are going to always come in. Don't worry as much about, non-disclosure, non-compete. Yeah, depending on your idea, depending on the patent, depending on what you have, protect it. But at the same time, this world's big. There's enough room for your heart. And like I always say, I lean on the Bible and I lean on my faith, but God created us all very unique. He's saying, sharpen your sword. Don't look at others and try to mentally sharpen their swords. They're in their own life, their own world with their own gifts. Sharpen your sword. There's enough room for everybody, which leads me to my gratitude of seeing my homies win. And obviously the Captain Stoker, much love, good coffee. The story, if you go read it on their bio, is just amazing. BMX, culture, background, husband, wife, doing it together. And even more exciting, they have a baby on the way. So huge props to Tyler and Kelsey. And my next one brings me to this, dude. I got a buddy when I was building my underwear brand that I was going around to like Villa, Shoe City, all the sneaker stores and this and that. And, of course, there's Zoomies, there's Tilly's, there's everything, but the sneaker ones were really crazy. And I got to work with a bunch of guys that were like these creative superheads that grew up in the, just in the streets, dude, in the streets. And they had so much culture, so much style, so much steez. One of them, I ended up bonding with this trade show for, I think it was Sneaker Villa or Shoe City or one of them. But as I was sitting there, we're going back and forth. He's like fully backing my idea. He's like, man, I totally love what you're doing with this underwear space, man. You really understand culture. You're connecting things. How are you doing this stuff? And I'm all, look at you. And he had some underground, I have pictures I'll pull out, but he has some underground like company he was being a rep for. And I'm all, dude, this guy's got like a sick style, everything about this guy. I don't even know what's going on, but this is my boy. This is many years later. I'm talking like 15 years later now. We're still boys. And it's crazy when you stay in touch with the people you meet and that camaraderie, that connection. You just know it's a connection. I call life the full circle, right? You might not see someone for 5 years. When they come back into your life, it's like, what's up? You just connect right where you left off. So my boy I'm talking about is now A&R at Columbia Records. But dude, this dude is a fashionista, steezy dude. And like, he's created like lanes that I love, like accessorizing. How's your kit? It's not always the loud outside stuff. Sometimes it's just prints, certain things, socks, whatever it might be. And so I just bought these the other day, but basically my boy Mont Brown, I love you, dude. Happy belated birthday. I believe it was yesterday. Mont Brown, man, it's so hard. Sometimes I feel definitely lost of words. I need to go get a Harvard degree just to kind of really encapsulate how dope this person is. But I've watched him climb. I've watched him fall. I've watched people not open doors for him. I've watched him close doors on one of the dopest, most genuine human beings there are. And I watched this guy, Mont Brown, my boy, never give up. Keep pushing. Keep putting it out there. He's Philly love, and he's put on fashion shows, so much stuff. Heart to Philly and everything he's done there. And I think he just transcends outside of this thing, but he understands it, because unless you've walked the walk, people jump into fashion, but there's not really any roots or any ties to it. So anyways, you got to follow this guy, Mont Brown, my boy, A&R. Columbia Records, just deep in the music game, YG, and just, but man, God, dude, boy, your glasses too, Mont. I love those things. I know they pulled from some old school heritage. I've seen, some of the biggest stylish dudes rocking, but you rock them well, bud. So he launched a new brand, and I had to buy the first shoe. It's called Community Service, and super steezy. He's got that kind of rad burnt orange kind of vibe. I've got the kind of more hunter orange on right now, the safety orange, but basically inside this box, my boy launched a shoe, and you guys follow the shoe culture, the sneaker culture, but dude, I had to buy them, and they didn't come for like 2 months, and I almost kind of forgot about them. I'm sorry, but I was like, dude, is he even shipping my stuff? I didn't really care though, because it was just about supporting it. Shoes super comfortable. More importantly, the community service. I can't wait to jump on with Mont and get more, because we haven't talked about what it's about. But when I think about community service, dude, it encompasses my boy Mont Brown. I mean, this dude has literally put in so much community service within his city. He's got awards within Philly. I mean, he's touched the hearts of, crossed over with Meek Mill. Me and him worked together with Rico Havoc, an artist that I still think is one of the most legit dudes. Love the guy. I brought him to Supercross with his crew. Got to meet Jason Anderson. I got a video of him freestyling with Jason Anderson. Or not with Jason. Jason, I love you. Maybe you freestyle too, but Jason was racing. This is the year he won the title, so I'm going to give props to Rico Havoc. But Mont Brown connected me. Ended up hanging out. We did some Mended collabs actually way back, because Mended's been a hobby and process now. Now I'm building this thing out in the culture. So this is much like respect to my boys over here at Captain Stoker. I get Malcolm Stokered. Dude, that's what makes me spill the beans, dude. Spilling the beans is stoked for people. Like I said, I want to see people healed. I want to see people winning. I want to see people on the mend. But props to my boy, community service. We all have a gift, I believe, and community service to me is that fire within us to go out and to push and persevere, or to persevere, or to just go after what we love. And everyone's like, what do I love? How do I find it? You don't find it if you're just sitting on a couch. You don't find it if you're just looking and swiping, scrolling and just like all over the wide. You can get creative. Pull it from actually wherever. There's no rules. But the only rule I say is this: to not ask questions is number one rule of failure. To not reach and ask 10 people, let 9 doors get shut. Ask 20 people, get 20 doors get shut. 21 door, the 21st door might open. You never know. And I'm just feeling really humbled. A grateful thread is everything that kind of is in my heart that makes me now go, man, if I hold this stuff back, am I actually helping my community? Am I helping my homies? Am I helping my friends? This is the culture, guys. My boy Set Free, who is one of the main guys behind And One. Set Free is one of the most other creative ninjas. He's a real Star Wars guy, and so I'll call him like the almighty Jedi. But he said, Malcolm, he's like, what you've done with culture, and I can't say this about myself, and it's like I get humbled. He's like, dude, you need to come back. And so Mended is back, because I'm going, man, I've been sleeping. I'm never gonna stop being a super dad. I'm never gonna stop being a husband. I'm never gonna be anything but family first, my faith. But all of that is providing me this energy to kind of jump back in, have fun with you guys, build with you guys. And so, but seeing part of building isn't building by yourself. So Mont Brown, Set Free, the compound in New York, community service, Columbia Records, A&R, my boy, I see him out there with YG. He was on a PJ, bro. It's your birthday. I see how you roll now. I'm waiting for the invite, but rough crowd. But community service, guys, this is on us to put our gift into the community. So Malcolm Beans, sometimes I just come in like chick. I ain't even trying to DJ because I can't. I wish I could, because that's a crazy skill. That's my boy's set. So love you guys. Like I said, fire over the questions, fire whatever it is. I'm here just to have fun with this thing. It's kind of cool when you discipline yourself, because I don't, like I said, there's no filters. I'm jumping on. There's no beautiful setting, no background. I'm sitting on the floor in my office, and I just keep jumping on. And what I do is I just put on, it's cold. It's been like 15, 20 degrees here in Austin, Texas. What up, South by Southwest? I just come out and I put a hoodie on, put a hat on normally because the hair is looking a little buck wild. And I just start spreading the love. And I don't even know where I'm going sometimes. These things are, long. I'm looking at the little clocker right now. It's like a 14:40. I'm like, who wants to hear some freckled Irish kid, kind of the fact that I come from Ireland, talking about some fashion, style, and gratitude? But I'm going to keep infusing it in your guys' hearts, because it changed my life. Friendships values, integrity, do the right thing. Like I said, I'm never going to be a political dude. There's Republican, there's Democrat. But I am going to say one thing, both sides, do the damn right thing. Humanity, love, respect to all those that have served, that are the reason we have freedom. Gosh, I have respect. Gosh, I love you. Malc and Beans, we out. Maybe I hit a little too hard. Jeez, what should I do about that? Are you talking to yourself again? Yeah, I have a problem doing that sometimes because I'm here in a room by myself in the middle of Texas nowhere. You know what? It's okay, man. Sometimes it happens. What do you think I should do? Just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing.